Pros, save more on what you need to get the job done right. Right now at Lowe's. Get 15% off select custom entry and interior doors. Plus, save $80 on the DeWalt 20-volt Max 2-tool combo kit. Now just $169. And at the Lowe's Pro Desk, bring us your materials list and get a quote in minutes. Handwritten, a photo, or even a sticky note is all you need. Keep your jobs moving faster and on budget at Lowe's. Valid through 7/8 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Inside Out Smile. I'm your host, Dr. Amber Q, and today I'm going to tell you a story. Yes. So on the weekend, on Saturday, I was coming back from a London event, which was really quite exciting, and I was on the tube. And there was a girl that was sitting, I was standing, and there was a girl that was sitting sort of opposite me. And I had been admiring her boots. I've got similar boots, but my boots are not as nice as hers. Anyway, this couple got on, or two people got onto the tube. One person clearly had additional needs. That was a male, and there was a female with him. And there was one seat next to the girl with the lovely boots. And the gentleman with the additional needs sat down on that seat, and the young lady accompanying him was standing by him. So let's bear in mind that there were two guys sitting opposite on seats. However, this young girl with the lovely boots gets up and gave her seat to the standing person with such a lovely smile and cheerfulness. That was so lovely. And immediately I was thinking, oh my gosh, this is so lovely. And she came to stand by me, and she had AirPods in, and I really wanted to immediately just say something to her. And I was thinking, oh, should I say something? Because she's got AirPods in, I don't want to disturb her. But I was thinking, I've really got two things to say to her. First of all, that I love her boots, and that I also love what she had done, which was just so lovely. And so I thought to myself, and the tube was moving along, and she was still on the tube with me, so I just took that as a sign. So I sort of said to her, I really love your boots. So I kind of signaled to her boots, and she took an AirPod out. I don't know if she was wearing one or two, but anyway, she took her AirPod out, and I repeated about her boots. And then I said, oh, by the way, what you did was really lovely. Not a lot of people would have done that. And it was so interesting because from there, we just ended up having this wonderful, genuinely lovely conversation. And it transpired that her mother is a doctor. She works in PR, but honestly, she was really pretty as well. But it's obvious that the beauty was not just on the outside, it was on the inside as well. She was so down to earth, so wonderful. And we ended up sort of, on the same train again. So we were on the same tube, and then we were both on the same tube again. And actually, we were on the tube until her stop. And we ended up speaking about the NHS and standing up for things we love, about screen time and just human skills. And it was just so beautiful. We spoke about each other's backgrounds. And really, she mentioned something that's so important. And that is, and in fact, it's quite extraordinary, but she was speaking about the importance for speaking up for things that matter to us and not just always assuming that they will be there. And it wasn't a heavy conversation, and we were speaking about the NHS really, but it flowed naturally. And I think it just shows who she really sort of is and what she values. And honestly, it was just so lovely because for me, it was great to speak with someone who believes that, the things we love are worth defending, whether it's freedom of speech, etc. And we just kind of appreciated each other quietly. It was so lovely. And she was getting late for a dinner, and obviously I was coming back from an event. One of my friends was attending a concert in a raw box, and I had declined that invitation because I was at this other event. And so we were just having a chat about that, and she was telling me about, sort of her work, and it was just so wonderful. But I just kind of think that, the two gentlemen that were sitting opposite this gentleman with additional needs and the young lady that was standing with him, they didn't acknowledge them at all. And I think this is the thing, most people just sit there, but that lady got up. And I don't know, maybe those two people that were sitting down, maybe they had some needs and they couldn't stand up. But I love the fact that this young woman stood out completely. So I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name, but if you are listening to this, you are the best. And you are so lovely. And your mum, I said this to you and on the day, and I'm saying it to you again. Obviously, it was just yesterday that we met, but your mum must be so proud. But that small act, completely unprompted, just said everything about who you are. And it's just, I don't know, it was just beautiful. And there are other lovely people like her in society. And I really feel, and I always say this, that people like that need to stick together. So lovely PR girl, maybe you can create something where lovely people like that are brought together. It's just, I don't know, it was just such a heartwarming moment, and it stayed with me. And I think that these moments, small kindnesses, a stranger's instinct to give up a seat, a genuine conversation that, where we both spoke about things that we care about. I mean, that was just so wonderful to experience. So it was a small moment, but it stayed with me sort of all evening and today as well. And it's a reminder, right, that kindness is still out there. Sometimes you just have to look up from your phone to see it, and she was actually listening to the soundtrack to Les Mis, which was wonderful. And I was speaking about the soundtrack to Phantom of the Opera, which I love as well. And it's just a reminder, right, to speak up about the things we love before we lose sight of how precious they are, and to stick up for people that are voiceless. It's so important to do that. And so that one moment of connection, honestly, was just beautiful. So PR girl, I really, really appreciate you. You are obviously a wonderful person, and you are going to do great things with your life. So, I think really it's just the fact that the most heartwarming things can happen in the most extraordinary places. And so the girl with the lovely boots had a lovely heart. And there was no fuss, there was no performance around it. She was just instinctually, being a wonderful person, having a pure heart. And so that's all I really wanted to say. It's just that it matters to speak up and to take action, both for people who do good and for the things that we believe are worth protecting. So until the next episode, let's all create connection and not just change lives, but save lives.
You want to get your backyard summer ready, but you don't want to break the bank? Wayfair gets it. Planning on dining al fresco or relaxing poolside? Wayfair has everything you need to prep your space. Shop now and save up to 70% off during Wayfair's 4th of July clearance. Score huge deals on outdoor furniture, area rugs, and more. We're talking thousands of products for every style and budget. Plus, surprise flash deals July 6th. Don't wait. Shop Wayfair's 4th of July clearance now through July 6th at wayfair.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.